Oh God, it's so bad. There was nowhere to put anything. There were these two random shelves on the wall. Like, what are you doing there? Nobody knows. I had shoes, I had all of my jeans, everything hanging in clothing organizers on a rack. The way the closet was built was so stupid. I mean, these shelves were so tightly spaced together that I couldn't even fit like normal size clothing without having everything smushed and shoved into place. Then there's this shelf on the bottom. Like, what am I supposed to do with you? No one knows. Things were collapsed on themselves. On this side of the closet, there was this giant vacant space. None of the shelves that I had fit, so I couldn't even do anything with it. I just had scarves and hats in like a giant ball. All of my sweaters and my t-shirts kept collapsing on each other because the shelves themselves were sort of deep, so I had to stack them really high. So things just kind of fell. I had a wine rack, you guys, that I had my boots on. I had shoes there. I had shoes hanging on that disaster of a clothing rack. I had an entire closet I dedicated to shoes, but obviously this wasn't built for shoes, so it was done so inefficiently that it really was just a waste of space. I had another part of a closet that was a hanging closet, and while I didn't change this a ton, I definitely made it more efficient. So down here, I had these soft storage containers that, because they were soft, they had no structure and they just smushed on themselves. It was really hard to see what was inside. And then I had so many mismatched hangers that my clothes would constantly get like hooked and stuck on each other. This light was so ugly, you guys. It put out like a hideous yellow light mixed with the hideous yellow walls. The whole space was just really offensive. Obviously, you can see it was a disaster. It's kind of embarrassing to share, but I just had nowhere to put anything. It was time for a change, I tell you. So the first thing that I did was actually just paint the walls and get rid of that yellow. It took 4 coats, but I did it, and it was a great place to start. All right, so I'm standing up on my table, but I just built this light fixture. This is what's gonna replace that hideous dome one that sent out that like aggressive yellow light. So it's really cool. It's got little crystals on the end. It's sort of mid-century modern. And I got some Edison LED chandelier bulbs. So not only are they energy efficient, but they're gonna look really cool because you're gonna see the inner workings of the light, which I always really love. Ooh-wee. Everything just arrived. It's on. I bought myself a drill. Thank you, Black Friday. All right, so I demoed out the closets entirely by myself. I just used my power drill and a little bit of muscle. It was actually really fun. So in order to install the closet, you start off with the Alpha Top Track. This is really the system with which everything hangs off of. So you really want to make sure that it's level. Once I realized I was level, I took out my Sharpie and I just marked where each of those holes were so that I could go in and pre-drill holes. Don't be jealous, I'm sexy. So I went in and I pre-drilled all those holes, making sure to just catch all that remnant so I didn't have to have too much cleanup after the fact. Then I drilled it into place. If you are worried about not going in to a stud, make sure that you put in those anchors beforehand. So I did that, making sure it was really strong, very excited with myself, and I did it in each closet. So I made sure that all 3 closets had a perfectly leveled top track. Next, you're going to install this bad boy. This is our Easy Hang Standard, and it has that little notch, so it just slides right into place. There's really no installation at all. It's super simple. So I did it in every closet. I did, some got 3, some got 2. The next thing is to install the wire shelf bracket. So I knew that I wanted my low hanging section to be at 36 inches, so I started there. And just make sure that they're parallel. You just want them to be on the same level. I measured mine out about a foot apart, and then I worked my way up. Once I had my grid in place, it was in time to install the Alpha Decor shelf.
You got that?
Wait. Oh, it's got a fabulous click when it goes right into place.
Stupid, go.
I clicked it into place, and I again just kind of worked with the grid, and they sort of click right into those wire shelf brackets, so it's very, very simple. Take a look, see what you've done. Now we're gonna put in our closet rod holders. These are not gonna click into place, so don't be alarmed. You just kind of hook them in. Next, I took the actual hanging rods, which do click into place, and I made sure I pushed down until I kind of felt that really strong seal. So that was all done. Now I put in the clear shelf dividers because I really wanted to make sure my clothes stayed organized. You hook it on the back and then pull it forward right there on the front, and it makes a really nice tight seal. On to my shoe closet. This was very exciting. I attached the gliding shoe rack into that wire shelf bracket, and it has these little teeth on the side. You put them in and then push, hear the click, and you are perfectly in place. So then you can actually take the shelf itself and slide it right in. Okay, I I've done. So I clicked in all of the rest of the shoe racks, and then I put just the long hanging rod for just the same way I did it with those little hooks, and then I popped in the long rod. And now I'm gonna switch all of my clothes over to those like really slim hangers. You know the hangers from the woman from the Joy movie? The Jennifer Lawrence made me hangers. She's so sweet. So I put everything onto those, and now I'm gonna put everything in the closet and do all the final details. I cannot wait. This room is finally coming together. Guys, that is it. I am really, really excited about this room, obviously, and